Do you see?
Yeah, it's there on the top.
Ah, yeah. Thank you. Okay, you can see here all the permissions which are already been granted in those permission role that we copied from the right. Everything you see here, see, they are already granted. So you have to take the closest one which will fit your requirement, and then you can alter the things that you don't need or you need something specific to this permission role, guys. So that is how you are going to do in any real-time project implementation, guys. And click on save changes. That's it, guys. This is how you are going to do. Defining or creating a permission role from scratch is going to be very tedious job, guys. Don't do that. Take a closest one and modify that as per your requirement, guys. So this is how you are going to create a custom permission role, and at the same time how you are going to create a custom permission group is you go to the manage permission groups and go to the closest one again, or you can, this is pretty simple, guys. You don't need to always rely on copying. Let's say this is going to be like India employees permission group, and let's say I have to define based on country. So employees belongs to country. I don't know, guys, whether India is there or not.
So Raghu, there always be this this much role in like a standard one, and we can copy from there. We don't have to create this all. It will come in a standard one, like what we are seeing here, and you are copying from where?
Yeah. Yes. You see, that is what I told you, right? You see some standard permission roles and permission group by default in your systems. You can always copy them, and you can then modify those things as per your requirements, guys. Did I answer your question?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, you answered it.
Okay. Yeah, no problem. So click on done, guys. That's it. The permission group has been configured, guys. So if you want to assign this permission group to the permission role, yes, the same thing again. Go to your permission role and go all the way down to the permission role and add a permission group over there, guys. That's it. It is as simple as that, guys. If you are clear with this thing, right, your RBP is pretty simple, guys. Okay, and say if your RBP everything has been configured and you are good with respect to setting up different permission roles and permission groups, and you assign employees to the permission group. So the next thing is going to be like you have to load the data into the system, all the employee data into the system, and once you load the data into the system, right, that is when you are going to assign employees to the permission groups based on certain criteria, guys. And then what we are going to do is like we are going to take couple of examples with respect to your data models, guys, and these examples are the ones that we are going to, how we are going to handle the sessions is like we'll be working on couple of configuration workbooks, guys. I already shared this configuration workbooks with all of you, and if you open one of those things, right, give me a second, I have to download them again.
Raghu, this country specific restriction or location specific restriction you will cover later?
What do you mean by country specific restriction?
What I mean is that let's say there was an example of HR manager Melbourne, HR manager Sydney.
Okay.
So that person should have access only to Sydney employees, or that HR manager should have access only to Melbourne employees, okay, or let's say India or US or UK. So one HR manager should have access to only one specific country people or location people.
Yeah.
Where exactly do we define that?
Sure. Yeah. Let me show you that.
Okay.
So this is a different server we are using for ampersand for?
Yeah. Yes, guys.
Okay, so you will send us the details for
yeah, I'll do that. Just give me, I have to set up your XML file, the spreadsheet. I have to load that into the system and generate new password for you, all of you guys. Once that is done, I'll share, probably definitely I'll share it tonight, guys. Definitely I'll do that.
Raghu, your screen is blank right now.
Yeah. I am just going to the permission role, and if you go all the way down and click on add, you see here. So you are granting this permission group to permission role to a permission group. Say you are granting that to a permission group. Let's say executives. So once you granted these things, but when they are looking into the system, what kind of data they can access, whether they can access their own data or the employees who are reporting to them, or the employees belongs to a specific country or location, city, or whatever it may be. You see here, whether they can see all the employees of your organization data, which is your detailed reporting permission, detailed permissions, or your line of sight. Basically, this is your line of sight, guys. What data that you can access in the system. You can see, specify the target population whom the above granted. These people, permission group is nothing but indirectly you are assigning people to the permission group. And yes, you did some assignment here. Couple of people you added here to this permission role. Specify the target population whom these above granted users have permission to access. So they can access the data of the employees, whether everyone in the organization or only, you can see here, based on the division, department, location, or if you have your own criteria, you can see here, you can go ahead and define your own criteria as well, guys. So this is how you are going to specify or restrict people to whom they can see. Say I am an employee in India. Say my manager is someone in and he is head of like a India business unit. He should be able to see, the guy who is the head of India business unit should be able to see all their employees data, right? So ideally the head of business unit should be granted with their own country restrictions. They should see the employees of their own country. So this is how they are going to grant or restrict the access to specific group of employees. Clear, guys?
Raghu, can we give multiple conditions like country plus division or and or options?
No, I don't think so. No, guys. You can. It's only based on one criteria. Is it clear, guys?
Okay.
So, Raghu, this is Sri. Under the target population, you have three options. So I'm assuming that those three are the filters which has been mentioned in the file. So if we add a custom one and make that as a filter, does that show up over here?
Yeah. But that is the only one you can select always. That's what I'm telling. You cannot select multiple things, but it's always only based on one criteria. Yes, you are correct, Sri.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
Raghu, when you do this, will it open up all the modules for the people who are granting permissions in that hierarchy? For example, compensation, performance, everything opens up?
Yeah. Based on the things that you captured in the permission role, right? Those things will open up for them to access.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Yeah, okay. So what we are going to do is we are going to work on the configuration workbooks, guys. These configuration workbook will have a couple of requirements around your corporate data model and your succession data model, and I'll show you like how to work on these XML files, and then I'll show you the BC UI, which is your business configuration UI tool, to work from your instance itself, guys. So I hope I already shared this documentation with you, the configuration workbook. Let me. So how this configuration workbook has been prepared is like, if you see here, even in your real-time project, this is how you are going to prepare your configuration workbooks, guys. Let's say if you talk about employee data or the foundation aspect, let me take the couple of examples from foundation aspect, then we'll move on to the employee data or the succession data model things, guys, specific to succession data model. For let me concentrate on corporate data model now. See, this is one of the configuration workbook, and you can see here all the different entities of your corporate data model, whether it is your legal entity, your business unit, division, department, job classification, pay range, association, everything, the things which are specific to your foundation objects. The requirements needs to be placed in this fashion, guys. I'll tell you how to read your requirements. Forget about all this general info, TOC, your introduction and cover sheet, all those things, guys. If you go to the legal entity, so if you go to the legal entity, right, let me show you how you can access the different admin access. Then I'll show you, I'll work on these things, guys. See, this is your administration tools, right? The place where you are going to load your employees is, if you want to load all your employees in a mass fashion into the system, right, you can see here, go to your update user information, and you can see export employee data and import employee data. This is the place, these are the two options. Basically, if you want to import the employee data into the system, import employee data is the option. Click on that, and using this option, you are going to load data into the system, guys. And if you notice, guys, the things are quite different than the introduction to mastery or your talent management system. You see here, there is a lot of options to you. So you are loading employee data into the system. What data you are loading, whether you are loading the basic data, or it is called a basic import or extended import, background import, biographical information, what data you are loading. This is very important, guys. And for each of these options, even if you are not aware, like what is the, if you are not even experienced in Employee Central or if the success factors, you can get the formats or the templates for these import options just by selecting the radio option, whatever the data that you are trying to import. Let's say if you are trying to import basic data of employee, select the basic import, and here you can see download a blank CSV file. You see here all the different imports with respect to the things that are relevant to your employee data. You can see all those things here. Let's click on basic import. What is there in the basic import? I'll show you. The same thing is any data in your success factors, you will be able to find a template. Using the template, you can prepare your data. You can see what is there: status of the employee, user ID of the employee, first name, last name, and their suffixes, title, gender, email, manager, their department, division, job code, location, all those things you are going to load in the basic import. So you have to prepare basically when you are migrating your data from the legacy system into your success factor system, right? You have to prepare your legacy employee data into this file format, and you have to load that into the system. And in the same fashion, you see, yes, you imported the basic data, but at the same time, as your master data is going to reside in your employee central, you have to migrate all the employee related data, whether their personal information, their biographical information, their global assignments, employment details, and everything, and their dependent details, extended information, everything you have to load, right? Each and every data option you have an option to import their system. You can see here there is address details. If you want interested in importing their address details, you can see here address, and if you go here, right, you will be able to find the format of that. You see here, this is the file format. You have to open a spreadsheet, right? Then only you will be able to see it properly. But these are all the different columns with respect to your address fields. So that is how you are going to import the data into the success factors employee central module, guys.
So preparing this Excel sheet is the huge job then, Raghu, if it is 1 lakh employee, and how can you, like,
No.
in this format?
Hey, what happens, like, you are not going to prepare this data, right? Say if you have a SAP HCM as your legacy system, you can use your add-on success factors integration add-on, and that integration add-on will give you the data. And say
Yeah, but if you don't have SAP and some other legacy
system. Let me finish that, guys. So if you have any other legacy system, right? Obviously, any system they should have some option to export their employee data into external files. Yeah, they have to generate these files, and only thing like it might be you have to change the file format. Yes, your success factor is capable of only consuming the CSV files.
Yeah.
Might be the legacy system will be generating the files in some other format.
Yeah.
Might be a tab image or something. You can easily convert the file format very easily, guys. And you have to always segregate data into these different formats, guys. The success factor system will not be able to consume all your employee data in a single file. It is not capable of that, guys. You have to split your employee data into these different segments. Let's say if, let me go here, guys.